Hi, I hope you're well. I want to talk to you today about your upcoming midterm exam for this course. So, if you've been paying attention to the syllabus and the course calendar, you will know that you have a 20% midterm that is going to be throughout week 7. So for those of you who haven't taken a course with me before, know a little bit about the method to my madness, this video will give you some tips and tricks on how to do well and how to think about the exam and successfully complete it. So your midterm exams were 20% of your final mark. It's going to have 3 sections. There's going to be a multiple choice section worth 10%, 20 questions, full-on multiple choice, maybe some true and false in there. Section B is a definitions section where the task is that you have to explain a list of terms in your own words to a fictional grandma. So you have to plan and execute a way to explain the terminology with an example to an idealized grandma. The third section is classic short essay. So here you will have, you'll be writing 1 essay out of a choice of 3. And together that comes to about 20% of your mark. So what you can look forward to doing over the course of the week. So you'll notice on the course calendar that you're not learning any new information that week. It is just a week devoted to you writing the midterm. So it is highly suggested that you work on the components of the exam in chunks. So the multiple choice section will be timed. You will have 30 minutes to complete 20 questions. And then parts B and C, so the definitions and the essay question, are on your own time to be developed. So my suggestion here is work in smaller chunks and work towards drafting your final response. So you might want to spend, let's say, an hour early in the week just making your skeleton notes on how you would want to approach answering the definitions and the essay at the end. And then as you work on it every day, you can add more and more information. So the exam opens at 6:30 on Monday, June 29th. There is a possibility I might get it up for you sooner. I'm still crafting and have to program it into Blackboard, but I'm hoping that I can get it open for you a little early so that you have that bit of a buffer of time to develop your responses. But worst case scenario, 6:30 a.m., Monday, June 29th. The folder will open and you will have access to all parts of the exam. You can work on all of the components of the exam at your leisure throughout the entire week. So if you're a night owl, you can work on it all night. If you like to get your thinking out of the way in the morning, the world is your oyster. As long as you have all 3 sections of the exam completed by the 5 o'clock due date on Friday, July 3rd. So you have the full week to pick away at this exam. And how I'm going to encourage you to think about the exam is that it is fully open book and open note, of course. It's an online exam, so it is expected that you can look things up, you can rehearse your responses, you can craft your ideas, and it is recommended that you do just that. Other than the multiple choice section, which is timed, the other sections are free for you to work on at any time that you like. So Another good way of thinking about how to tackle a task like in an online midterm exam for me is, so I've mentioned working in chunks. I'm also going to recommend that you pre-prepare. So maybe take time over the weekend and just make sure that you know where you can find all of your notes and that you have your notes up to date. So hopefully you are taking notes throughout each tutorial, paying attention to the things that are in bold. If you haven't had a chance to work through some of the think stops or the Quizlets and matching games, you're going to want to do that just so that you can gain practice and some feedback with your thinking about the course topics. The other thing that I highly recommend you doing before starting the exam is making sure that you are going through all of the terms at the end of each module that I've posted. Those key terms are the concepts that I use for all portions of the exam. So knowing how those terms are defined, examples that go along with them, will go a long way to you feeling extra prepared for this exam, and you'll know where to find all of this information. So it's an organization mechanism. Let's see what else I can tell you about preparing for this exam. So we've talked about working on it in chunks. We've talked about prep. Try to keep distractions to a minimum while you're working on the multiple choice. I'm going to give you 2 attempts and I will take your best out of 2. And the reason why I do that is in the event that your computer goes wonk or you lose internet access, you don't lose the test. So I'll take your best score out of the 2. And then the other portions of the exam are going to be submitted to Blackboard through Turnitin. You will find everything for this exam in one folder in the module for week 4. So you'll see where I said stay tuned for more detail. Yeah, that's where it's going to be and going to open when it's all done and ready. Let's see. Talk about distractions. Yeah, lock up needy pets, children, mates, just out the door they go. Just for half an hour. They can survive without you for that long. Other than that, I think we are in good shape for this exam. It's not going to be, brain-bustingly hard, but it will allow you an opportunity to show me how much you are learning in this course and developing your own ideas and reflexive capacities. So, yeah, I can't think of anything else I might need to tell you about this exam. If I've missed anything by the end of this video, do send me an email and I'm happy to answer your questions. Other than that, bon chance, and you're going to do great. All right, bye for now, everyone.